At this moment, 7 miles below you, something is whirling along in perfect darkness. Something that has teeth longer than your fingers. Someone that has been practicing the art of killing since the time when there were trees on land. We have charted each crater on Mars. We have taken pictures of the faraway galaxies, and we have sent robots to the other planets. But 95% of Earth's ocean, still a mystery, still their domain. And what dwelling does exist down there becomes the stuff of nightmares. Ready to meet them? There's no turning back now. Subscribe for more long-form videos. The Eternal Hunters. Descend past the sunlight, past the whales, beyond the frame where man could shatter under compression alone. Come up to the world of evolution in a bottle, the museum of the most successful murders. The frilled shark comes out of the emptiness in the form of a serpent in ancient mythology. 6 feet of pure, undiluted terror wrapped in sandpaper skin. This animal has not evolved in 80 million years. Why would it? Perfection does not require improvements. It has its mouth open as a trap of the bear. 300 needle-sharp teeth in 25 rows, turned upwards. When one goes into it, there is no one way out, no struggle. Granted, simply the natural fall into the dark. Scientists believed it to be dead, but one was by nabbing a fishing net, still thrashing, still in search of prey. Think of the existential fear to find that one of the dinosaur monsters did not go. It simply went somewhere out of our track. The frilled shark does not hunt in a modern way. It doesn't need to. It twists its eel-like figure, sizzles with serpentine accuracy, and gulfs down its prey. Its prey does not even get to note the attack. The thing that makes this animal so disturbing is not only the look or the antique origin, it's the implications. In case something so alien-looking could have remained intact so long, 80 million years in the waters we believed we knew. What else has been hiding in plain sight? What other relics from prehistory are circling in the dark, waiting for us to accidentally discover them? Every scar on their body is a story older than your great-great-grandparents. Every bite marks a battle won in waters so cold, so dark, that time itself seems irrelevant. These sharks have seen empires rise and fall, never once surfacing, never once caring. They are the ultimate survivors, proof that in the deep ocean, slow and steady doesn't just win the race, it becomes immortal. And here's the terrifying part. We only discovered their extreme longevity in 2016. Before that, we had no idea these creatures were living chronicles of human history. What other secrets are they keeping? What other timelines are playing out beneath the waves, completely independent of our own? The light bearers. However, teeth and patience are not all that is needed to survive in the abyss. It demands innovation. And nothing demonstrates the twisted resourcefulness of evolution as well as bioluminescence, or the power to make light in a space that has not seen the sun in millions of years. The anglerfish is a nightmare maker. Women become the size of a basketball full of spines and teeth that are sticking out at impossible angles. Their bodies are melted, as though the pressure and the dark have shaped them to be what should have not existed in nature. Hanging where their head, a fishing rod of flesh, and shining with bacterial light. It is the only star in a bottomless night, in the pitch black. The desperate and starving small fish swim toward what they believe is salvation. They instead discover jaws capable of protruding wide enough to take in prey that is twice the size. The light isn't hope, it's a lie. And the males, even more disturbing. They are minute, hardly an inch in length, and when they get to a female, they sink their teeth in and never release them. Their bodies become one, and the male becomes no more than a sperm-producing parasite. His eyes disappear. His organs shut down. He unites with her. He is permanently bonded. He is continuously nourishing the new generation of coastal hell. There are several males who can be attached to one female, forming a hideous group of dependence and genetic survival. This isn't romance. It is the biological efficiency of the worst kind. The male anglerfish sacrifices all of it, the identity, the independence, the very body, to the only reason for reproduction. During the deep, where a mate is almost impossible to find, the evolution concluded that fusion was preferable to loneliness, and somehow that is even more upsetting. However, it is the hatchetfish, perhaps, that makes the cleverest application of bioluminescence. This tiny creature has light-producing organs on its belly that perfectly match the faint glow filtering down from above. When predators look up from below, they don't see a silhouette, they see nothing. The hatchetfish has essentially invented active camouflage, making itself invisible by mimicking the absence of light. It's stealth technology millions of years before humans conceived of it. In the deep, light isn't just for seeing, it's camouflage, deception, seduction, and psychological warfare all at once. Every flash, every glow, every pulse of bioluminescence tells a story of predator and prey, of survival and death, of evolution pushed to its creative limits. Don't forget, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. The Pressure Gods. Now we descend further. The deepest trenches on Earth are the Hadal Zone. The pressure in this case is above 16,000 pounds per square inch. That is the same as having 50 jumbo jets on your person. A human body would go down immediately. A sub-boat would bend as aluminum foil. Yet life persists. Life thrives. Life has overcome what is impossible to overcome. Introduce yourself to the snailfish, which appears like it should not live. Gelatinous, semi-transparent, bones so soft as rubber. It lacks a swim bladder. It could not withstand such pressure. Rather, it has a masterpiece body structure, rich in organic substances known as piezolites, that sustain each cell of the body against the compressing power of the ocean weight. Its skull is not complete, and it has holes that enable its body to be compact and expand where necessary. It is not a fish, but it is more of a living water balloon, a genius engineer carved. And down there, they are not all by themselves. The amphipods are dinner plate-sized scuttlers that wander the trench floor, scavenging whatever falls to the bottom. Their appearance resembles that of a creation by a horrorist artist. Segmented bodies, opaque armor, several limbs that move in utter coordination, eyes that help them see in the near-complete darkness. One of the expeditions dropped a drop of bait on a camera. Thousands of these giants rushed up in an hour and ripped the offering to pieces with a mechanical precision. It is such disturbing footage not because of violence, but because it is a large number. They came literally out of nowhere, an army that emerged out of nothing and collaborated with unnatural precision. The food being consumed, the insects disappeared as swiftly as before, and all that remained was a sedimented section of the road. They were foreign to the world. Perhaps, in a way, they are. The Hadal Zone is Earth's true alien world, and we've barely scratched its surface. Every expedition down there reveals new species, new adaptations, new proof that life doesn't just tolerate extreme conditions. It embraces them, masters them, and makes them home. The colossal mystery, but size in the deep acquires mythical dimensions. The gigantic squid, dismissed as drunken sea sailor stories, measures to 43 feet. It has the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, with each eye being the size of a human head, which was developed to pick the tiniest bioluminescence in complete darkness. They can see things that we never could see. They see things that move far away, that to us it would have been invisible. We didn't film one alive until 2004. Let that sink in. One of the creatures up to 600 pounds long was only found in the 21st century. And when scientists at last filmed it in the wild, it moved in an all too gracefully. Its tentacles feel its way in the darkness like the fingers of some underworld deity seeking victims. It was not the bashing giant of myth. It was elegant, intelligent, purposeful, and somehow it made it all the more dreadful. It has a giant squid with the beak in the middle of its tentacles. The beak itself made of the same material as a parrot's beak, only magnified in size to the point where it is a nightmare. The beak is capable of cutting steel cable. It is able to slice through flesh and blood with minimum effort. And it has around it 8 arms and 2 longer feeding tentacles, lined with hundreds of suckers with little teeth. A giant squid cannot escape once it has a hold on prey, and this is mathematically impossible. But the giant squid too is fearful. Something bigger lurks below, therefore. Something that causes the giant squid to appear delicate in comparison. Something that not even whales will consider even challenging. The colossal squid, heavier, stronger, more aggressive, with hooked blades of its tentacles, natural rotating blades that are to cut and shred at the same time. These hooks are 360-degree swivels. That is, as soon as they are hooked on, it becomes exponentially harder to tear them off. It's not just holding prey, it's destroying it. The colossal squid may be the largest invertebrate on Earth, but we can't say for certain because we've never measured one alive. The specimens we have are juveniles or dead adults, already decomposing. How large do they really grow? What do they look like at full size? How do they hunt? We don't know. And that ignorance should terrify us. The unknown signals. But then the most disturbing enigma is perhaps not what we have discovered, but what we have heard. Underwater microphones placed in the Pacific Ocean in the year 1997 sensed something that was impossible. A sound that was so powerful that it could be detected in thousands of miles. The hydrophones had caught out a low-frequency rumble which was increasing in volume in the same way as the dreadful thing was coming to the surface. Too loud to be a submarine. Too geological not to be geological. The frequency pattern was the biological one, and the source would have to be bigger than any animal ever seen on the Earth. It was named by scientists as the bloop. 70 years later, we are still not aware of what had created that sound. The government believes that it is an icequake icebreaking in Antarctica. However, the wave is inconsistent with familiar icequake records. The acoustic structure is still anomalous. And in the bottom of the trenches, when our setup cannot go, when the pressure would ruin any camera, anything might be. Anything might be calling. There are some hypothetical theories to explain the undiscovered species of whale, maybe species that will only surface in remote places where people will not see them. There are other people who postulate enormous invertebrates that we have never known about, the ones that speak using sound that we have only heard once. Some are whispering of things which should not be. Animals of prehistoric times who fled to the last untouched frontier on the Earth. Below the depth of 1,000 meters, the ocean is 99% uncharted. That's not an exaggeration. It is a fact, confirmed by oceanographers across the world. The Martian seafloor maps are superior to ours, and each time we drop something down, we find species science never guessed. New body plans, new hunting strategies, other nightmares that we were unaware of. The bloop can be dismissed, registered in the category of solved mysteries in the oceanographic databases. But it also makes us remember an unpleasant fact. We are not the only intelligence in this world, and the others might like to be concealed, living their lives in darkness, communicating in frequencies we rarely monitor. Since then, other sounds have been recorded. The upsweep, Julia, slow down, train. Each of them enigmatic. Each of them hinting at the fact that the ocean is much more active, much more living than we could ever suspect. These aren't random noises. They're patterns, signals, messages of things we cannot see, which we cannot go to, and of things we cannot understand. The deep waits, and sometimes it speaks. The deep waits, always watching, always hunting. Subscribe, should you be courageous to know what also lurks when light dies. The following time, we go even deeper. Can you handle it?